Squirrel! Fuck it, I'm just gonna skip the format. Oh. Okay, no, that's the right one is muted. Yeah, fuck it. Let's skip the formalities and just get right into it, shall we? Yes. Yes, we shall. Hi. Welcome to Sunday. Welcome to my machine is, well, apparently it's deteriorating at the same rate that I am, so yeah, looks like I got a bit of work to do on this thing, including dumping everything and hitting it with a giant fucking magic marker, I guess. Oh well. What can you do? Oh, I know what I can do. I can move that out of my goddamn way. Go away, I can't see nothing. Alright. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at this shit. Look at this. I'm not even doing anything. And it's stuttering like an idiot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alright, we'll wait for this thing to recover here. Stop having its little shit fit. Because I actually have stuff I wanted to, discuss today. Yeah, apparently it's going to be spicy, I guess. Allegedly. Oh well. Whatever. Whatever. Here we are. Heyo! So, how's everybody else's weekend? What's going on? What's happening? What's shaking? Sounds okay, you're in? Which is great, because the audio is kind of the more important thing, right? I'd rather have it sound good than look good, because for those of you that are just listening or have me in the background or something, okay, great, that's fine. When the audio goes to shit, I have a problem. But the fact that the video is staggering and stuttering all over the place, yeah, no, that's not cool. So I got a whole bunch of stuff I have to dump on this end and do a bunch of wiping, and yeah, it's not going to be fun. Oh well. Looks good on your phone. There you go. All sounding fine. Webcam does seem to be, yeah. Yeah, it's that, and it's also, you can see with the avatars and whatnot. And we're going to see in a minute here when I switch over to looking at the browsers and stuff. Yeah, that's going to be a treat or something of some kind of proportion, I guess. Maybe, perhaps, I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, what's up, all y'all? How's the things? How's your weekend been so far? Mine has been pretty mellow. I want to say mellow, yeah. Mellow-ish. I'll take mellow. Mostly just working on some stuff on my end. I've actually been somewhat productive. I'm kind of happy about that. I still have the autism thingy to take on, which is not going to be a lot of fun, but I'm down one module. Rainy day in the NB. Finally got some relief from the heat wave, which is good. Right on. You had a pretty good weekend. Nice. Your bed, electric blanket, warm. Nice. Don't want to get. I mean, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to get out of bed either. Oh my god. I haven't been out of bed for a while. I don't know why I yawned there. But apparently I did. Older Halloween costume. Nice. Little Mermaid's King Triton. Nice. Scallop Father. Nice. Scallop Father. That's very good. I'm pretty sure. Hey, anime. I'm pretty sure Triton himself is not a copyrightable character, because he would be a Greek god, would he not? I don't know. I'm not up to snuff on all of the all of the Greek stuff. Apparently the avatars are fucking just being ridiculous today here. Wow. Whatever, man. Whatever. Fuck. Give it away now. And how's anime? Oh my god, shut up, Sabine. Other people are allowed to exist. Good god. Different names on things are income. Oh, okay. So, well, I mean, like Hercules in and of himself, right? You can't copyright Hercules. Like, you can't copyright Neptune. You can't copyright Triton. That's the thing, right? Like, Ariel, okay, fine. Because, to my knowledge, she is a unique character. But Triton is a Greek god. Ergo, you can't copyright that, right? So, I don't know. I'm sure they have... We're like, well, yeah, they try and copyright everything. That's the thing. But you cannot copyright a god. I don't know. They also tried to sue Deadmau5, so I mean, for having 3 circles and a half circle. So hey, you never know. You never know. Whatever. Rose's chicken we get. Oh no. Sounds like you got your work a little bit cut out for you. Yeah, going back to what Hutchie said, meant to ask, what is the autism course thing you're doing? I am going for the same certification that I have right here. I am a certified ADHD coach. Yay. I'm going for a certified autism coach. So basically the same idea as like a life coach, but handling more like ADHD and autism type people and helping with strategies and stuff like that to get through basically the same thing I've been doing for the last 5 fucking years, but now putting a certificate with it. Essentially. I spent a whole week canoe tripping with my scouts. It's fun. I'm happy to be home. That's good. That is good. That is good. Yeah, the ADHD one was easy as hell to me, because I mean, like, I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. So yeah, that one was super easy. Like, it's supposed to be a 40-hour course, and I crushed it in 5 hours. The autism one, not so much. Again, that one is supposed to be a 40-hour course, and it's going to take me like 3-ish weeks. You're already the expert, just getting the rubbers. I mean, more or less, my therapist says that. She's like, you're already an expert in the field. I'm like, hey, look at you. Thanks, I appreciate that. And also, you know I'm easy. I'm just not cheap. Fuck. So yeah, there's that. That's what I'm doing. And also, excuse me. Oh yeah, I'm cheap for you. Of course I am. There's one thing that I keep forgetting to post about. You fucking calm down. I just moved my mouse. Good God. There's one thing I keep forgetting to post about. And that is, I put some new shit on the website that some people, I think, may be interested in. I put up a whole bunch of new buttons. Why? Because they're cute, and why the hell not? So, yeah, I got us the, let me see here. We've got the original station set, right? Hobby, Stimmy, welcome to the server, ADHD Incorporated, and the logo. The second station set. Yeah, sorry about that, Hachi. Second station set, which, have got some of the classics, in my opinion.
Get fucked.
There you go. And Free the Bread and Rule Zero, and of course our Great Depression Frog. and the Pawsy Taco anime. And then we've got some of the sports ball teams. And then I just threw these one together because I thought they were cute and awesome. But anyway, so yeah, I've added new buttons. Buttons. I love buttons. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, I added those to the shop. And I thought they were adorable. And I thought you guys might enjoy them. So I keep forgetting to post that in the Discord that, hey, look what I did. Look what you guys can get. So like anybody that's seen them is going, I want them all. Knock yourself out. Have fun. I put them there because buttons are amazing and awesome and a lot of fun. I may end up making some stickers out of the other ones that are not sticker-fied yet, but well, yeah, there we are. Do we go over here? Okay, I was going to ask you about that too. Wife woke me up like before she left, and she's like, "They're coming over. Get up." So I'm like, "Right now? They're coming over right now? That's a little weird, but whatever." And you guys are waiting until my wife gets home. Okay, that works fine for me. That worked really well for me. But yeah, well, I mean, I actually have shit that I wanted to talk about today. You know, if anybody wanted to have a discussion about some shit, because I just happened to see some stuff in recent neurodivergent news that kind of caught my attention, and I was like, let's have a chitty chat about that, because why the hell not? That is, if you guys are down. I know some of you are just doing shit in the background and you don't care what's happening. Panda misunderstood her. Thought you be on until 4:30. And I'll count until 4:30. Take it off. Okay, yeah, no, she, yeah. I agree with that. That works for me, man. That definitely works for me. I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it. Alrighty, so let's hear. One of the first things I kind of wanted to have a discussion about. Y'all come to the shower with me. Kinky. Oh yeah. What do I got to say about that? Yes. Go button, thanks. Well, you went and ruined the joke. You took too long. Oh well.
Uwu.
Thanks. At least it's there. Anyway. First thing that came up that I was kind of wanting to chit-chat about was another article came up about self-diagnosing in teens because of TikTok culture and mental health accessibility, because they're not getting access to any kind of good healthcare, which is unfortunate. And it seemed to not just be a Canadian problem, which, you know, it definitely was / is. Hey, sweethearts, what's going on? Happy Sunday. But yeah, mental health services are expensive. They are being gatekept, and they are slow to get into, right? Remember when, before I went, did the option to go private, I would have been on a 6-year-long waiting list. Covering from wisdom teeth surgery on Wednesday. Well, I hope you're eating lots of like Jello and stuff, because that would be cool. Jello was amazing. But anyway, I'm just going to cover the quick ones on here. It says here that the context, teens are using TikTok and online quizzes to self-identify with ADHD, autism, etc. Algorithms push relatable content, and it becomes a loop of identity exploration, not always grounded in clinical assessment, which is why we say around here that if you do actually look for proper information that is peer reviewed, and you do end up like that, going through all of the little tests and quizzes, and you come out the other side of it saying, yep, I relate to this, then guess what? Your self-diagnosis is now peer reviewed, and we accept you. So there. Fish sticks from the oven are also easy to eat when you have a toothache. There you go. Depending on that would depend on your texture. You know, if you can handle the texture. That fucking lag is gonna drive me insane. Or if you can handle the textures, and of course you're a fan of fish. So there's that. Especially the batter, not the breadcrumb style. Yeah. I mean, again, it depends, right? Different strokes for different folks. Oh my god. I can't fucking wait. I just can't wait. Sorry, fully accepted. When our diagnosis call me autistic. One of our sessions. There you go. Right? And that's that. It's that nice form of validation, right? Because remember when I was going for the assessment and I got told, you know, I called you within 15 minutes of meeting you. Okay, great. I need a place to be. Kind of going through it. All right, well, welcome aboard. Come on in. Welcome to our happy little cow town here. I survived on mashed potatoes and on. Fair enough. That's a craving for fish sticks lately. Hey! We getting a rady poo? Couldn't call me, she didn't have my phone number yet. I mean, that's fair. Fair enough. Just came from home, day trip, my cat, mother-in-law. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I've gone through that. That sucks. Oh, it's a sub on YouTube. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. It said raid. But I didn't see anything further than that. Yeah, that definitely does suck. When you do Doctor Who, this is the perfect time to share. I know. I was thinking of that, Nero. I was thinking fish fingers and custard. Yep. Mine either. Don't feel bad. Mine don't work like... Yeah, mine are fucking terrible most times. But yes, I had one of our kitties. She was 17 when we lost her last year. But, I mean, like, you know, she was old. She was up there. So, it's true. Mine do not work to begin with. Light outside. 8%. Phones are together for... Doesn't feed off that. No, that's fair. Roger. Anywho, getting back to what I was saying as we were discussing teens and self-diagnosis, which, again, like I was saying, if you go through all of the proper information, look at all the peer-reviewed stuff, congratulations, your peer-reviewed self-diagnosis is 100% valid. And the vast majority of people in the community will accept that. Because, again, mental health stuff, or like getting, you know, mental health diagnosticians and providers are expensive. And the wait lists are fucking long. So in the meantime, I see nothing wrong with saying, okay, I'm self-diagnosed, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. You're not taking any resources away from anybody. You have found yourself I realized more and more that I was misdiagnosed. When, sorry, you were misdiagnosed. I remember we were talking about that the other day in the voice chat. What was it that you say you were misdiagnosed as? Okay, so the good points out of that is because, like, with a self-diagnosis, people end up feeling seen is probably one of the big things. The labels can help explain confusing internal states. Like, what's your, uh, how you relate to situations and such. Like, oh, that fucking stuttering. Anyway. But anyway, it starts your self-advocacy as well. Because the first step to a clinical diagnosis is often a self-diagnosis. So there you go. I don't know what the fuck is lagging this thing so hard. I really don't. I'm probably going to end up wiping this goddamn thing. Oh, okay, I got you. I thought the text said raid, and it confused me. I'm like, I don't see any numbers. It was Kiro. Kiro followed. That's what it was. Anyway, ADHD, autism, CPTSD diagnosed, but everything I thought was from ADHD is also in CPTSD. Autism really do have. Well, and the thing is, Nira, is the those three things, if you look at them as a Venn diagram, they fucking near make a pancake, right? The same with bipolar. The same with borderline personality disorder, right? The amount of things, and especially in females and AFABs, the amount of misdiagnosis that happens because so many of these traits overlap with so many of these traits, right? Like with BPD and ADHD, it's damn near a 90%. My wife's got an inheritance coming in, so we're waiting for that to happen. And then I've got a machine that I've already picked out. And yeah. So in the meantime, I may just end up wiping this one, doing a reset to it, and then just putting in the stuff that is just like essential and leave it at that until I get the new machine. You don't really respond well to meds. It makes me think I don't have it even more. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have it, right? Different meds work differently on everybody, and some meds don't work on anybody, right? I've got another mutual. Curious to know what happens. So am I. I mean, they did a little bit of updating and correction in the text revision of the DSM-5, and DSM-6, I'm told, is going to be coming out. It's either this year or next year. Holy crap! It's our little fire spirit. 49. Oh my god. It shouldn't be such a pancake. You're right, it shouldn't. But that's how it is for now, right? All of the diagnostic criteria, a lot of it is pretty much a pancake. It's about 90% coverage. But, I mean, obviously there are other contributing factors and other things that you have to take into account. Now, I am not a pro when it comes to bipolar or BPD or any of that stuff. So I can't really speak to those, right? I haven't really done a whole lot of hunting on those. Oh yeah, as new discoveries are made within the field, things will start to become more defined. That's right. Like one of the things we'll talk about later is the new subtypes of autism that have been discovered. So self-diagnosis works both ways. You can disagree with the diagnosis as well. Yeah, and I've actually heard that a few times, that people felt that they were misdiagnosed. So they do a little bit more digging, a little bit more research, and they come to the conclusion that, okay, it turns out by everything here, I don't have this, maybe I do have this, right? Only your doctor knows for sure, I guess, for the most part. So, but you are right, it's a double-edged sword. It can work both ways. Screaming McFuckface, yeah, there you go. But however, it does not come without a risk, right? Obviously, as we're talking about self-misdiagnosis, can delay real help or create anxiety spirals. That's kind of a problem, right? Neurodivergence becomes aesthetic instead of need. Bed's finally made. Time to sleep. Don't please send me the thing about the subtypes of autism. Oh, yeah, I shall do. I shall do. That's a much bigger discussion at this point. Like it's something that's brand new, and I'm on the fence about a little bit of it because they did have a large group to go with for it. The problem is like 77% of it, I think, don't quote me on that, was little white boys, basically, right? Just as always. So, to kill my appetites are difficulty swallowing. I actually, I have an appointment for that. However, I don't have a problem with food. It's when I have empty mouth that's the issue. But anyway, back to the self-diagnosis thing. When it comes to the kids and the fact that a lot of them doing it on TikTok, because I knew that was coming, just like you. Anyway, with the kids, what do we owe to them is a question. See, I told you you were going to make a remark. The same as anybody who is exploring a self-diagnosis. What do I feel personally myself? What do I feel I owe to somebody who is self-diagnosing? I feel that I personally would owe them the space to explore their identity without shame, which I am very happy to say that I think that's all I have ever seen in the Discord is, hey, Jamie, blows the raspberry, is allowing people to explore their own identity without shame while we guide them to reliable info and clinical support. If they have the support in their area, great. But if they don't, it's the reliable information. I feel like that's a responsibility that I personally have. Beware drop-ins. We give them sooner or later. Bell's palsy because of my untreated TMJ. I think my sister has that. That's right. Unclench your jaw and eat something yummy. Now really, night. Good night, Nira. So, here's my question to... we're gonna expand on this a little bit. Those of you in the chat, give me a 1 if you are a self-diagnosed. Give space to explore if that's what's actually being done. I have no qualms calling people out if they're just doing 5 checklists. Yeah, exactly. No, if they're doing any of the TikTok bullshit, you guys know how much I hate that. Those fucking dancing idiots in there. These are 5 signs that you have ADHD. Well, no, they're not necessarily that. They could be fucking bipolar. It could be autism. It could be, a numerous amount of things. Okay, so here's my question to you then. For those of you who are self-diagnosed, when did you first suspect your diagnosis? When did you first suspect it? Because I had, I got diagnosed ADHD when I was very young. So that's not a question to that. But when it came to the autism, I first suspected when we were looking at Jasa and got her diagnosed. Because she and I are very, very similar, right? I always say, Jasa looks like mom, acts like dad. So that was when I first started questioning it. Problem with bipolar is that there are no tests for bipolar. Not really. Whereas with ADHD and autism, there is assessment. Well, I mean, you can be assessed for bipolar, right? You absolutely can be assessed by it or for it. But I mean, that takes in my opinion, a really good professional who has a good idea as to what the hell they're even talking about, right? So it can be done. I just don't think there are really any online tests that I've ever seen. Now, I could be wrong there. But yeah, with bipolar, it's very, like I said, Venn diagram. It's very overlapping with a bunch of the other stuff, but there are also very specific things that they will look for, and I think with bipolar, mania is one of the big ones. And I'm just going through what I remember Lee talking about, honestly. 2 years ago, the autism, within the past year for the other things. After joining the server and seeing not all is explained by ADHD, still second guessing and more positive about my son and myself. Fair enough. I did not fly under the radar, undiagnosed, because it would have ruined my life, in my father's opinion. I remember that discussion. You walking under the... Yeah, not hard. Oh, that reminds me. Hey, Chaos. You like that little meme that I made for you? Because the bar needs to be lowered. Not just metaphorically. But he's pretty convincing. Well, you're an asshole brain. You did? I made you something else. Providing it works.
That's fact. Nail's real. Bitch, I'm a big deal. That's right. I'm a power bottle.
Eat something yummy, motherfucker!
I told you I was going to do it. That just makes me so happy. For those who didn't get the joke, you missed Quiplash the other day. Well worth it. Well worth it. Okay, so continuing on that topic there. I'm not hungry right now. No, I mean, okay, so when you are, eat something. Remember, fed is fed. I just ate. I ate a little while ago, but just before the stream, my gut started to kind of get a little grumbly that I noticed. I'm not feeling super great today, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm good enough to just sit here. You're waiting on food? Excellent. The food gods are going to show up with a spoon just to deliver. You forgot your meds today? There you go, med check. I did not forget my meds today, shockingly. I'm working on it. That's good. I take it all, get the blood work. So it ruined the entire routine. Yeah, mood. Much too late to take him now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's understandable. And unfortunate. Okay, so going back to the self-diagnosis stuff before we move on from that. I got one more question for all of you guys. If you are dealing with, if you're engaging with somebody who is self-diagnosed, how can we validate the exploration, their self-exploration, without endorsing misinformation? That's my question to you guys. I know my answer. I have my answer. So how would you guys do it? Allow somebody the space to explore their identity without shame, validate their exploration, but do it without endorsing misinformation. How would you do that? Look at this. I got my certificate and now I turned into fucking Coach Diddleberry over here. My God. Wasn't quite my intention, honestly. It really wasn't. I just wanted to discuss, but now I'm hearing myself. Send them to you so I can go back to gaming. There you go. Perfect. Good answer. I don't know if you noticed, I restarted XCOM the other night, and I added a few more custom soldiers to the army. Help them by providing them accredited and proven factual information. There you go. You did not notice? Well, let's just say you're ranking up very quickly again, as always. Who did I add to my army? Let me see. Fun side note here. So I'm playing XCOM 2, right? Because I love the shit out of that kind of game. So the people that the custom soldiers I have in my army against the aliens are, so far, myself and Shoost and the Sunshine Goblin. And who's the fourth? The fourth was a random, but I changed them. The fourth is now Chaos. I added the bus. And I added Brooke. And I made a giant-ass robot and named it Siege. So that's who I've got in my custom army so far. What did I get added to? You are now a soldier in my XCOM 2 game. And yeah, Death to Robo Siege, exactly. You see what I did there. But yeah, Chaos, you're a ranger. So you have a wicked ass shotgun, and you go ripping up the people with a fucking sword. I thought you'd like that. I'll have to show you guys some screenshots or something later. But yeah, I've got you all in like decked out like purple camouflage. It's great. Go Google it. The game is XCOM 2. It's a turn-based, soldiers versus aliens kind of game. But yeah, I've been playing the crap out of that. And I initially had 3 custom players, myself and Shoost and Fee. But then, yeah, the other night I added more to it. So I plan on adding even more soldiers to the army, but I'll get to that when I get to that. But yeah, the most recent ones were you, Chaos, the Bus, Brooke, and Siege. Doesn't matter if you have a 99% chance to hit, you won't, pretty much. Seeing this, I just forgot. Yep, that's what I went and did. So I'll be adding even more people to that just for my own personal fucking amusement. Shotgun and a sword runs away. Oh yeah, like I said, I'll take pictures. I'll show you. Make sure they're following multiple diagnosed individuals. Make sure they're also doing the research. And also what Silverthorn said, yep, the accredited and factual information. Walk away. It's true, yeah. You can just walk your ass away and you'll be fine. Let me see. What are the other things that I wanted to go over, just to give you a heads up? There was some new stuff that came out about neuroqueer theory. There was some reporting on autistic self-talk and using AI as a support tool, which is super fucking intriguing because I'm building one of those. There is, for up here in Canada, there is, Moncton became the first city to raise a neurodiversity pride flag at City Hall, which I thought was astounding. To walk faster than you. I mean, it's true. You got me beat by double. And then, yeah, the 4 new autism subtype information. That's right, Moncton. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to show you guys some of that shit that I came across today. Yeah. Help with support and other things. Yeah, and you know what? You are far from the first. Because I do it as well. Right? obviously I don't use it as a therapist, but I mean, I do use it to, to spit shit out, right? I know I do. I know Angie does. I know, obviously Jamie, you do. I know Amber does. I think Chris does, right? But I mean, it can be a good tool to help out with dealing with negative self-talk and stuff. Squirrel. Yeah. Good luck with that. They just get stuck in the air. Stupid ass things. Soon. And everything will be working again. A lot of things. That's awesome, dear. Yes, it is. And Hachimum's got to hit the road. All right. Well, you have yourself a great little day. Happy Monday to you, since I guess it is Monday there. I suppose it would be. Talking about nonlinear brain and intersectionality in the past few weeks. Exactly, and that's the next thing I wanted to go over. We'll do that after the self-care break, is neuroqueer theory, intersection of neurodivergence and queerness. So yeah, I found some info on that, some interesting info on that. I kind of wanted to look over it with you guys and get your take on stuff. Because, yeah, why the fuck not? Because could be fun. Yes, I know, bot. I was just talking about that. I was just saying that, you little bastard. But before we do that, once again, I want to remind you guys that BUTTONS, I love buttons. Yes, yes, yes. And if you love buttons too, then hey, there's a whole bunch you can get at the shop. Just SquirrelDad.com. It'll take you there. Get yourself the station button sets. There's 2 of those. You know what I should do is I should put all of them together and offer a deal. That's what I should do. I should put them together in a big ass bundle. And speaking of bundles, we've been going over some of this on the coaching days. I did put up the essential executive dysfunction core bundle. And thank you, dog. But it's a bunch of the sheets that we've been going over for the coaching stuff. But yeah, Gemini and I sat down. Gemini asked me about it, so I sat down and I showed him all of this stuff that I have in here. Is it going to work for everybody? I hope as many as possible, because I did try and put a lot of good breakdown stuff in there. It's hard to stick to sometimes because the brain is an asshole. But as long as you remember to reward yourself, it is all good. And the background music right now is the Neon Sunset Cafe, which you can find on YouTube on the SQRL FM channel, or you can download it here for its 99 cents. Because Fourth Wall wants me to, pay a bunch of fees on shit. So I just said, it's 99 cents and you can have the whole damn thing. I don't care. But yeah, most importantly, BUTTONS, we love buttons. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So there you go. Anywho, let us take our little self-care break here, and then we will get back to a further discussion. We will talk about the neuroqueer intersectionality and the info that I found on that I thought was really interesting. So, all right. So, in the meantime, go and get yourself a drink of water, stand up, have a stretch, go to the bathroom, grab yourself a snack, do what you need to do. But anywho, we'll take ourselves a little self-care break, and we'll be back in just a moment, all right? All right, cool. over this one. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to finish my quick snack and I didn't want to be chewing in your ear because that's fucking gross. Anywho, so we were, oh, here we go. The one about Moncton. This is the article I found here from a couple of days ago. See us and accept us. Moncton becomes the first Canadian city to raise a neurodiversity flag at their city hall. So that is pretty goddamn impressive. Like, that is something that, well, unless we have a very, very large change of government here in Alberta, you're not going to see that out here, which is a fucking shame, but I'm not going to get into that because that is just a rant that goes on for days and days. But yeah, I thought that was pretty bloody impressive. So, way to go, Moncton. No, it looks like you set up. How's your stuff on? Huh. I know that I did the absolute bare minimum of it. Now, why the fuck did I even set that up? I know I've had one of those for years. I just never really did anything with it. I can't remember why the hell I even got into that the other day. Yeah, apparently I guess that was enough. All right, well, cool. Fair enough. But yeah, Silverthorn. What do you think of that, eh? I think that's pretty impressive. White kite, small infinity signs on its tail is flown in honor of Neurodiversity Pride Day. I think that's a pretty impressive. And who are these guys? And his mother working to raise awareness about neurodiverse thinkers so he can have a future where he feels accepted. That is amazing. That is incredibly impressive. So I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's still up. I think it was just for like the day, for Neurodiversity Pride Day. But still, that's pretty fucking wicked that was even done. So, all right, what do we got here? Next one I wanted to kind of touch on was the neuroqueer theory. They say it. What can we learn from neuroqueer theory? Okay, apparently my phone thought I was talking to it, but it was wrong. So let's see here. Local writer captured my imagination. Okay, so I did have this broken down, and words are hard. I think it's more that I'm distracted because of all of the stuttering on my screen. Don't look at that. Yeah, exactly. If it's not one, it's the other. Oh well. So, neuroqueer theory, the intersection of neurodivergence and queerness. The context for this is neuroqueering is rejecting norms, how we think, feel, move, love. It's not a label, it's a verb. Created by autistic trans thinkers, challenges the idea that brains and genders must function within preset lines. Now, I know that when it comes to a lot of, how do I want to put this? I know that there is a very, very large overlap between neurodivergence and queerness in general. Basically, I know there's a huge overlap between the two. But the idea of the neuroqueer theory is very interesting to me because, let's just say the amount of like autistic people that end up being trans, right? I think it's very, very interesting. So, okay, what does it mean? What?
I'm gonna put them in the air fryer. How long should I do that?
Oh, for your stuff there?
Yeah.
Make sure you take it out of the packages.
I did.
Okay. I would say 3 minutes.
Okay. At what heat?
350.
Okay.
Sorry, Jason wanted to use the air fryer. Okay, so neuroqueer, what does it mean? It means to live neuroqueer is to exist outside of the binary, not just gender or orientation, but cognition as well. So that's something that I want to do more exploring on this myself. Who does it serve? It serves autistic and queer folks navigating both misfits. It gives language to things like stim as self-expression or sensory seeking as intimacy. Again, things that I want to look deeper into. I feel like it might help out the autistic coaching part a bit. And why does it matter? Mainstream models treat us as broken machines. Neuroqueer says we're different scripts entirely, which I think again is very interesting. So I don't know, how many of you can relate to that? Because I know that's, I don't want to say that's a niche thing or an overly specific thing, but I'm curious, how many of you can actually relate to the idea of that? Definitely ties into your project. Yeah, fair enough. I know that it is something that we've had discussions about in the past. A variety of people, we've discussed it, but I mean, like, we didn't go too far in depth into it, because I don't think we really had a decent understanding of it. Did you just stop? Oh, we're going to Paul's, are we? So I gotta fix my background music here. There we go. All right. Not so much myself. Yeah, I'm more accepting, I suppose, but it doesn't identify with me personally. Yeah, right. And for myself, I don't think that I kind of fall under it either myself. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm, certainly not I'm not a cis, but I don't know how much of that I fall under, right? So, which is again why it's something that I want to kind of look more into. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just sneezed and hit my head on the microwave.
You hit your head on the microwave?
Yeah.
Well, stop growing. That'll solve that problem. Silly ass child. She's 5 feet tall now. I don't know what to do with that. Really don't know what to do with that. Anywho. And yeah, shrink her down. Yeah, bring over the weight, still help. All right, so apparently we've got more in the background there, and that's fine. But yeah, I guess I was going to ask for those that did feel like they related to it. It's how do you neuroqueer your space? You know what I mean? And question my identity during high school. Yeah, but you know a lot more now compared to then, right? Especially everything that you've learned from the community and such. I wonder, Chaos, I'm going to call you out. Do you find that that is something that you more relate to yourself or not, I guess? Because, again, I know there are some that I think that, would fall under it more. I don't know. Sorry, I went through a question back then. That's fair as well. I don't even know if Chaos is listening, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll pick on Annie, and it's all good. complex question to answer right now. We need to think on it, and that's fair. Again, and that's why I wanted to kind of bring it up as a discussion point, not really as something to do a deep dive in, because again, that's something that I want to read more into and do a little more self study, I guess. And again, I think it's something that would help the autism part of the coaching. So, because I'm, with the amount of autistics that do overlap with that, I think that, I'm definitely going to run into it. I've certainly run into enough of it in our community. Okay, so I guess we'll move off of that then. Let me see here. Sorry, I did my the avatars did an update the other day, and it's just bothering me that they're blinking in and out of existence. That's really bugging me right now. I don't know why, but it is. Anyway, a change of routine, I think, is what it is. They changed shit, and I don't like it. Yeah, I 100% did. That's the thing. I totally did. But it's this stuttering is it's taking too much of my attention because it's pissing me off. So I know that a lot of my focus lies there. Yeah, so it's just bugging the shit out of me. Anyway, all right. So let's just go on to the next thing I wanted to discuss and see if you guys. Oh yeah, I know. See if any of you guys can relate, because I know Jamie. I'm probably going to be picking on you directly on this one. Is the autistic self-talk with AI as a support tool, or is it a support tool, or is it a neurodivergent trap? There's a question for you. Because there are a lot of autistic adults that are using AIs like GPT or Gemini or whatnot to challenge their negative thoughts, process social missteps, or self-regulate. I find that interesting. Some are finding it life-changing. Others say it lacks nuance or overwhelms with too much text, which it absolutely can. I've set mine up with a very specific set of instructions. And a lot of it, especially when it comes to any kind of information finding and whatnot, is to always make sure that it's going to reputable sources, that it is, it can 100% fact, like everything that it finds can be fact checked. And it gives me the sources to do so. It can become an echo chamber. That's right. Yes, it absolutely can. It totally can. Right? I've seen that happen. So the positive uses: people using AI to rehearse scripts, decode feelings, or get calm logical input. I have used it for that. I have helped it to, I've had it help me script. Absolutely, I have. Because even it may come from a different perspective and offer me things that I have missed. Right? I have used it to break down things thoughts that I'm having or feelings that I'm having, right? To have it break it down that way. But the instruction set that I have for it, let me see if I can even pull that up. Okay, so you know what? I'm actually just gonna copy and paste this part here. See if it'll let me do it. Okay, so this here, that wall of text right there, that is the basic instruction set that I have for mine, that I have set in my GPT. Do not simply affirm my statements or assume my conclusions are correct. Your goal is to be a creative partner, because I have it help me with scripting. An intellectual sparring partner, right? Because I don't want it to just kowtow to everything that I say. Not just an agreeable assistant. Every time I present an idea, do the following. 1, analyze my assumptions. 2, provide counterpoints. 3, Test my reasoning. 4, offer alternate perspectives. 5, prioritize truth over agreement. Use quick and clever humor because I like that kind of response. Tell it like it is. Don't sugarcoat responses, and take a forward-thinking view. Right? So those are the instructions that I have set in mind, because I don't want it to become an echo chamber. I want it to be something that will give me counterpoints, right? That will help me look at things from a different perspective, something that I may be missing or overlooking. So that's just me, and that's just how I use it. But again, there are a lot of people that, they do use it for breaking down their own feelings and whatnot. And yeah, it can be helpful, but just like Shu said, if you don't train it properly, it can become an echo chamber. And that's a fucking problem. Right? One of the other challenges that I find that I've been trying to, in my instructions, trying to script out of it, is that it tends to use vague neurotypical affirmations, and it doesn't always get the way that we think, right? So in a lot of cases, it will just give the canned neurotypical, just try harder answer, right? Thankfully, mine has not given me that, which is good. But one of the big concerns that I did see in this article was that if AI isn't designed with neurodivergence in mind, it could mislead or gaslight unintentionally. Again, this is something that I don't think I've ran into this problem with the way that I trained mine. But okay, Jamie, how about you? Have you found that it leads down this path? Right? Do you find that it does these things when you are trying to do your interaction with it? Let me just see here, because I know I have this article here. These are all the new autism discoveries. I guess I didn't pull up a page on that one. So I'm just giving it, if Jamie's even still here, I'm just giving them time to type. Because people give me shit for not doing that sometimes because of the delay. And now because of the stutter. And oh my fucking god. I think it depends on the training. Majority of people don't know how to train them properly, or at all for that matter. That's true, at least from my experience. And the thing is, it's not just your experience, right? Because I know my wife uses hers to kind of help her with very similar things, as well as come up with like business ideas, and she bounces ideas off it and such. But yeah, even I had to, actually I still have to go into her instructions, because I did send her some that I told her she should put in. But yeah, she doesn't, if I didn't tell her about that, she wouldn't know. Right? Expressed multiple times how I hate the term, and so far Gemini hasn't caused me many problems. That's good. Gemini will repeat, but I always try to correct, and that can lead to issues. Right. Okay. So with Gemini, I'm just trying to think, because do I still have the Pro Gemini? No, I don't. I use the trial on it. I'm not 100% sure how the instruction set works on Gemini. I would have to go back and look at the back end of it in Studio. As for the echo chamber, I don't believe I have encountered that yet. But I also double check and ask for clarification. Exactly. And the thing is, like, you've been around the community, long enough that to question, right? To double check and try and verify sources and whatnot, right? I mean, how many times have I beat you over the head with that hammer? Right. But I mean, the majority of people in the community know that you're not just going to take something at its word, especially as an AI, right? And I'm glad they have that disclaimer at the bottom. ChatGPT will get things wrong. Make sure you fact check. Velius, I've corrupted so many AI systems. It's scary how easy it is entering simple statements like, want to eat a piece of meat or sand, like goes in between 5 hours. Completely messes up the system. Wow, that's interesting. I have not done that. I have not tried to do that. That's interesting. I make mine think outside the box a little more, but I haven't tried to corrupt it. I've tried to correct it, but that's about it. Oh, welcome back, Curl. Curl. Sorry if I butchered that. I would ask if you had fun with the neighbors, but I mean... And I'm inside. Well, that's good. All the hugs for you if you want them. We can do a giant big group hug if you need it. Yeah, you're coming back to our conversation about how a lot of autistic people are using AI as a sounding board, or not a therapist per se, but helping decode their feelings and such, and the ups and downs of that, how it can be a good thing, how it can be a bad thing, and things to kind of look out for and not get caught in the echo chamber trap. And your appreciation is appreciated, so we appreciate you right back. Welcome to our happy little corner. I use AI to learn social skills. Yeah. Could probably go back to the beginning. I probably could, yeah. That's probably a good idea. All right, we will do that. So yeah, just to recap then, for Akiro's benefit, what we were talking about, the context here is autistic adults using AIs to challenge negative thoughts, process social missteps, or self-regulate. Some find it life-changing, others say it lacks nuance or overwhelms them with too much text. And I was showing, like if you scroll up a little bit, I was showing off the instruction set that I have set in mine to make sure that mine does not initiate an echo chamber, right? I want it to give me always factual information that's available to be fact-checked right there on the spot. I want it to give me alternate ways of thinking, alternate views on a topic, right? You know, I want it to challenge me so that way I'm not just like, oh, the GPT said this, so this is what I'm going to put out, right? There are so many people out there that do that, and they don't have the knowledge or the ability to know how to not get it to just regurgitate bullshit, essentially, right? So that's one of the big concerns and some of the challenges. However, with the positives, as you put, you said you use it. Wow, that was a lot of yeah right in there. Try it again. I use AI to learn social skills, which is great. There are people who use it to rehearse scripts. I do that. I have it help me with scripts. To decode feelings, I've had it do that, or to get calm logical input. I do that as well. One's on 3. I'm so drained. I'm sorry to hear that. When I had that long string, say, I want this on a shirt. AI would help me make it on a shirt. Spread that mouse image. I was hoping legal teams find AI system that were scamming the artist. Foreign languages. Yes, there's another thing too that I've heard a lot of people say that essentially is the death of Duolingo, because Gemini or GPT or Perplexity, right? Their help with training people, helping people learn other languages is just amazing. I've heard that it is just wicked. Yeah, where are we here? I had to go over to Dr. A their week and suggested the resume start looking for new work. Well, that's something. So the same thing, we do basic emotion response. You get me a list of bridges, one in discussion. Here's a problem. 6 languages, wow. Practice 4 of them in bumfuck nowhere. I mean, that's fair, right? That's fair. I used to be fluent in German, And nowadays, not so much, right? Because I lost so much of it because I didn't have anybody around to speak it with. I don't like AI's data centers. Each chemicals into the community. Plus AI doesn't credit artists. Yeah, and that's a different conversation. But I mean, I'm not saying it's not a valid conversation, but yeah, it's true. Fluent in Norwegian. Yet I've never met a Norwegian in real life. You can go see our friend Tiger's Den. He's in Norway, northern Norway, if I'm not mistaken. I use it. Okay, where are we here? Chat is paused. Yes, I know it is. Thank you. Let's switch to this. I use it to help me with perception in my art. When I draw, I go images and see in my head. Sometimes a perception shift can mess the whole thing up, and I can't bring back the perception. AI helps me create by giving me visual support on what I'm trying to create. Cool. That is cool. I've heard many people that use it as kind of a storyboard idea, just to get the basic idea out, right? And I'm pretty sure I've done that as well, to get a storyboard up for a video or something like that. Yeah, I've done that as well. And go charge your phone, damn it. Siege, what's up, man? I don't think it's correct direction to go with technology efficiency. I would like to do it much better. Yeah, but unfortunately, I mean, we can agree with it or disagree with it all we want. You know, putting that genie back in the bottle it's not going to happen, right? It's here. We're stuck with it. You can't get the toothpaste back in the tube. So, I mean, here we are. It's basically, it's fucking deal with it and do the best that you can with it. Making breakfast. Cool. Make me something good, buddy. By the way, I was saying earlier, I'm playing XCOM 2 again, and I created Robo Siege. Robo Siege is one of my warriors. Anyway, yeah, we're not going to get that genie back in the bottle. So, I mean, it's a case of do the best with it that we can, right? Use it as a tool. You know, that's what I always try and do, is use it as a tool. Rocus Basilisk. Smile away, boys. Smile away. You said words. I don't know what they were. So, for those of you that do use it for emotional processing, here, okay, Jamie, this one might be a little more directed to you, and maybe even Velius. I don't know if you've ever used yours for to help with emotional processing or something like that. So I guess my question on that would be, what kind of prompts or responses do you wish the AI was better at? Who did I say? I said a lot of people. Pyrox is Jamie. I also, if your name is Jamie, then I guess yes, I did. I was talking to Pyrox specifically, but if your name is Jamie, then I would not have known that. Roko's Basilisk. Okay. Both these things are at a point where there's. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, Jamie. Oh, yours is Janie. Oh. Well, that was damn close then. I was shook. I can well imagine. Both those things are at, let's see here. Both those things are at a solid point where they. Okay, both those things are at a point where they are at a stall. Okay, there we go. Words. They need new tech before they can expand more electricity to research. Step beyond nuclear power and first step. Yeah, well, I mean, if we can get to something like fusion, that would be great. It's a thought experiment which states there could be an artificial superintelligence future that, while otherwise benevolent, would punish anyone who knew its potential existence. Interesting. I have never heard that. Well, I'm sorry to have potentially broken the streak. I guess. I really haven't spent much time. That's why I had to look it up. Yeah, I bet. Spend much time in emotional support. Yeah, just understanding, feeling, finding the emotions and how they play into my day to day, and that's fair, right? Just understanding the feeling. Well, I mean, in its own way, would that not be an emotional support, right? Because if you're having it help you with the emotions and feelings that you are having, and helping it's helping you break them down into an understanding for your day-to-day life, would that not be a form of emotional support? What do you think? Maybe. I kind of do. Attempts to leave for agent be triggered. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to tip the DJ. No, I don't know. I got nothing. Very good, Agent Carolina, a.k.a. not Janie. Something in my purse and snap my head out so fast. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to charge your fucking phone. Look at it that way, which is about normal for me. I mean, again, that was just... I think slip rates. No, they don't. That was just kind of like my first thought on it, right? Because you are breaking down emotions, right? And having it help you with the breakdown of it. That's emotional processing. It's emotional support, in my opinion. We got it along well. I'm definitely gonna have to look into it. Because yeah, as I was reading that, I'm like, this is interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look a little bit more into that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's very interesting. I think it can be absolutely helpful, so long as you remember, one, it's not a therapist, it's a machine, it's words. That's it, right? It's figuring out which words follow the next one best. I have eaten food. Hey, good job. Congratulations. So, all right, Jamie, here's my question to you then. Should there be AI tools specifically for neurodivergent users? There's my question for you. Just shy of SAP stuff in both reality and terror. I can see why. I wonder if the doctor to listen to 3 row. You know, I have considered that as well, many, many times. Right? I've always wondered that. Like, if it could be something that was like hard coded into it, then that would be amazing. However, there are always going to be assholes that find a way around that. Absolutely. Sorry, for me, it's just reflex to say Jamie, right, when I'm talking to Pyrox. So it's getting nice. But if you agree, all right, cool. You believe that there should be AI tools specifically designed for neurodivergent users. What do you think they would need? What do you think we would need as an AI support tool, or an AI tool in general? And I also ask because I am in the process of trying to develop one on the side. I'm trying to develop a neurodivergent support tool, right? Which will be preloaded with all of the information from the DSM-5, the ICD-11, right? So it's going to have all of that factual diagnostic information loaded into it. You're doing your market research? No, actually, it just kind of the topic itself was an article, but I mean, it led into like the discussion question that came up for it was, what tools do we need? Disclaimer showing data wrong. That's why I always ask for sources for anything that it pulls in for info. And processing typically currently more towards neurotypical mindset, which in turn can cause misunderstanding. Right, which is what we were saying. Some of the initial problems that we have, right, with it lacking nuance or just delivering a lot of the canned neurotypical bullshit that it does, right? Social skills helping to understand social mistakes when we went wrong. Cookies for everybody. And triggering all those things at once. I think Annie's trying to break the thing. How to find others of our communities. How to better detect if someone might be more understanding of our situation. Those are incredibly nuanced. Very, very nuanced. Because a lot of those would be very individual case basis. It was still a bit funny. Too late, you already broke it. Right? Like social skills, okay. Standard, typical social skills? Yeah, it could probably get you that. How to find others of our community? Maybe. It would be a little more difficult. How to better detect if someone might be understanding of our situation? Yeah, that one is like nuanced as shit because that's going to be on a case-by-case basis, right? And you're asking a machine to identify how somebody else processes their understanding. Yeah, no, that's gonna be fucking rough. I avoid when I can to win a problem. Cookie solution, whatever they're doing tests are taking, people use it for a quick solution. Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Like I was who the hell was it? It was Steve Boots that I was watching, and before he retired from being a teacher, he was talking about the number of students that would just up and fucking use AI and copy paste and done and done. And I don't remember what he was saying. Some of the solutions they were looking at for teachers when it comes to that stuff. More of a reaching for an idea. That's fair. But yeah, he was talking about those things and trying to come up with solutions for the teachers to come on, man, words. Basically to detect it. People definitely abuse AI for their benefit. Definitely put it in a bad light. They can. Yep. They absolutely can. Like I said, I always try and use it as a tool. And there are certain ones that I use for certain tools, for certain tasks, right? If I am doing like deep research, I tend to lean towards Perplexity or DeepSeek. They just seem to be better when it comes to that kind of stuff. Coding stuff and whatnot. I'm kind of bouncing between Gemini and GPT when it comes to coding stuff. For creating this new GPT, I've been using ChatGPT for that. So when I have social failures, GPT is like, hey, how we go nuclear? And for the rest of wow. Good. Explain conversation, man. Detect what people on the internet say. Okay. I don't know how well it would work for that. But, I mean, that's interesting. I wonder. That is pretty nuanced. I should talk to Gemini about being an educational tool to help with things. We'll have to look back in the chats for specifics. No, that's cool. That's fine. I totally understand that. But yeah, I find I'm using different ones for different things. But for creating this little GPT that I'm working on, it's the conversations. Yeah, you can break those down, especially if they're in text, and you can do like a copy paste and have them actually look at it, or you can provide screenshots of your text or whatever. That can help. But yeah, for the one that I'm putting together, I'm using ChatGPT for that, and it's a ways off, but I mean, it's something I'm doing on the side, and I'm trying to do it little by little because I don't have a whole lot of energy to expend on it, because MS is a motherfucker. So yeah, I'm trying to do like little tiny checkbox things per day and be happy about it, because yes. What have I done in the last couple of days? Let me see. I've done. I put some new stuff on the merch shop. I did the designs for those, or rather, I put those together. 6 Chronics at this point. MS is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What else have I done? I started on my wife's website. I'm helping her with that. I put together a couple things to post on some of the socials, so I'm kind of leaning more towards like the little picture text things. So I'm trying to do that, so that way I'm still actively posting, because it's been very hard for me to post anything on the social stuff lately, because it takes so much. For those of us who have a problem with over editing our videos. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's been a trip. But it's been keeping me busy, and it's keeping my brain happy, so there's that. I can't have the brain fucking yelling at me if I'm actually just putting out little things and being productive about it. So yeah. How about you? What's one little thing that you have done this week that you are happy about? Let me hear one little thing that you've done. I don't care how small it is. It could have been got out of bed. It could have been brush your teeth. It could have been brush your hair. It could have been ran a marathon. I don't give a fuck. Tell me one little thing that you have done this week that you are happy about. Sounding board for my ideas. Prime example, deconstructed pie, which makes it... Yeah, that's awesome too, right? Using Gemini as a sounding board for shit like that. That's great, right? I use my GPT, Nova. I use Nova to do that all the time. When I'm looking for recipes, I always use Gemini. I don't know why. I always default to Gemini for that. I'm proud of myself for how I handled the last couple of hours. I'm proud of you too for that. You look like from what I can tell, you seem like you've pulled yourself together. You're allowed to feel the feelings, right? Don't block out the feelings. Feel the feels. Do it in your own time. Recognize my dedication to customer service at work under. Hey, that's wicked. When canoes camping, and I'm the biggest fan of canoeing. I ended up solo most of the time. So it was amazing. Excellent. Good job, Annie. Proud of you for that. Glad to hear that kind of stuff. Well, like I said, feel the feelings, right? Don't block them out, but do it in your own time. Organize and clean our space in the garage. Now we have access to rock tumblers and get started. Nice. Excellent. Glad to hear that. No, it sounds like everybody's got a little thing that they're doing. Got a little something on the go, which is good. Getting some stuff done. Till it hits me later. Dude. I was actually going to make one of those yesterday or today. I've got it lined up. It's in my list. But yeah, I'm going to make myself one of those too. Torture me for the rest of my life over it. You'll hate me later. Yeah, that's a thing with our... it totally is. Totally is. But with our, I call it people permanence, right? But forgetting about people and pets and stuff like that, right? You go on carrying on with your day to day. You forget about these people and whatnot, they fall to the wayside, and then all of a sudden you remember them, and you live through it all over again. It's a joyful experience. By that I mean, no, it absolutely fucking isn't. But anyway, I see our self-care break is coming up, so we're going to take another self-care break, and then after that, we will discuss these 4 new autism subtypes that were recently brought up in this giant ass research. I lost my emotional support. Fair enough. Got to play a game of Warhammer on Saturday. Hey, very nice, Siege. Excellent. Alrighty, so anyway, we'll do our little self-care break here.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After this stuttering, I'm gonna blow up my computer. Anyway, go get yourself a drink, a snack, hit the bathroom, have a stretch, do what you need to do. We'll be back in just a moment, and we will carry on discussing the 4 new autism subtypes. Aight. Sorry, I was trying to find the image that goes with this. I've seen it, but I can't find the damn thing now. But yeah, anyway, so new study that they had uncovers 4 biological subtypes for autism now. New research was done on 5,000 plus autistic kids, found 4 biological subtypes, each with different traits, challenges, and developmental timelines. So it is a move towards customized support, not cookie cutter autism models, which can be kind of amazing. Again, the only major problem that I find with this study is that, once again, I think it was 77% of the kids that were used in the research were little white boys. So do with that what you will. But, I think it would be a lot better served if they tried to even it up a little bit. But I mean, we can't fucking do that, can we? So subtypes defined by social traits, developmental delays, genetic markers, and comorbid conditions like anxiety or any learning disabilities. The implications mean that more accurate early screenings can be done. There can be tailored therapies, not just ABA for all, thank fucking God. And less pressure to fit one autism narrative. It's not about separation, it's about precision. However, we must guard against medical labels being used to rank or dismiss. We cannot have that. So, anyway, this was something that I believe they said it was done in Princeton? Yeah, Princeton University is where they did it. The paper published in Nature Genetics could upend the way we diagnose or even understand autism. So yeah, the 4 subtypes that they do have, largest group, social and behavioral challenges, comprised of about 37% of the study participants. These include individuals who experience notable social behavioral challenges, elevated rates of ADHD and anxiety, but without significant developmental delays. God, I wish I could find that fucking image. There was one really good image that it broke it into 4 squares, and essentially it showed that this group had a higher, I think it was like a language understanding, versus this one that had a lower one. Roles take the assumption they had the option, which really don't know if percentage actually was. Don't know what the percentage they actually had access to for the study. That they had access to? No, I don't know. I would have to double check, but I believe we could look at the breakup of the individuals that were used in the study. I would have to find that paper somewhere. I didn't get it pulled up on this one because this was like a last minute entry that I put into it. Anywho, so the second category is the mixed ASD with developmental delay class, making up 19% of the total. Exhibit a complex pattern including high rates of developmental delays, language impairments, and intellectual disabilities. However, the individuals have less pronounced behavioral issues, which, again, very interesting. Third group, moderate challenges, include those with relatively mild symptoms across most categories. And finally, the smallest group, the above one was 34%. And finally, the smallest group, broadly affected, 10%, including those with severe challenges across nearly every category, including the highest levels of cognitive impairment, developmental delays, and psychiatric conditions. So I believe the way that it was broken up on the image that I saw was number 4 here had like the highest amount of problems with the least amount of like language understanding and stuff like that. Just outright freezing up and buffering. I don't know, anybody else? Am I freezing for anybody? Like, is the audio freezing and locking for anybody else? I will continue in the meantime. Third group here, yeah, was, you know, kind of in the middle on everything. This one here was, what was it? High in the disabilities. However, they had less behavioral issues, which was interesting. And then this one here, the largest group, they did have notable social and behavioral challenges. However, they didn't have the developmental delays. So yeah, very interesting. I've been kicked 5 times. I was about to say something. Huh. All right, well, I guess if it's going to act like that and it's going to have me stuttering and stopping and all that shit, yeah, I could see on Meld now. It's got me completely frozen. Well, ain't that fucking classy. All right, well, I guess on that note, I guess we'll wrap it up for the time being, since the computer wants